everybody out. We came along and they started releasing. But we have 59 left, of which 24 are living. The rest are.
It's the boy Cilio. I traded out Monelli, yo. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to this trading, man. I don't know why you want what I don't know. Why I should do the
and those 24 that are living,
the signals, the technical signals. I ain't do my dimension in a minute.
You cabinet members and Elon Musk. What did you tell them in regards to Elon Musk and his authorities to carry out actions?
Great meeting. We had Elon and we had some of the representatives for the business reps. We also had most of the cabinet members, not all of them. It doesn't really pertain to all of them, but many of them. And I thought it was a really good meeting. It was about cutting because everybody knows the country's way out of control in terms of the pay. And we helped them out with the problem they were having to do with the tariffs, short-term tariffs. And we had a very good conversation. Also, we discussed drugs, and they've been working much harder lately. Do you notice that? On people coming in and drugs, and we made tremendous progress on both.
President Trump, what's your thought about why the markets are so spooked? Do you think they don't like the tariffs, or do they not?
Seemed like a good, positive Donald Trump speaking to this, so I know the market looking positive for the U.S.
Companies that won't be doing as well because we're taking back things that have been taken from us many years ago. We've been treated very unfairly as a country. We protect everybody. We do everything for all these countries, and a lot of these are globalist in nature. They have. If you're outside of the United States, it's going to be a little bit different. We just weren't treated right. We were ripped off as a country. I've been saying it for a long time, and I did it to a certain extent in the first administration, but with COVID coming in, we had to focus on that toward the end. But we had the greatest economy in history in the first administration, and I think we'll do even better now. But this is something that we have to do. There'll always be a little short-term interruption. I don't think it's going to be big, but the countries and companies that have been ripping us aren't particularly happy with what I'm doing. But the United States will be very happy. And our farmers are going to be very happy. And again, there'll be disruption. But in the end, I said it before with China, we signed an unbelievable deal with China, $50 billion in purchases, and we're doing great. Biden, however, when he came in, they never enforced that deal. So that's the only thing that basically you have globalist companies that have been ripping us off that won't be able to rip us off any longer. I think that's what the big charge is.
Have you been influenced, some of these exemptions that have been announced and some of these temporary delays, have you been influenced in those decisions because of the market reaction?
Well, there are no delays at all. No, nothing to do with the market. I'm not even looking at the market because long term, the United States will be very strong with what's happening here. Now, these are countries and companies, foreign companies that have been ripping us off, and no president did anything about it until I came along, and then I did a lot about it. We took in tariffs from China $600 billion. Nobody else took in 10 cents from China. They never did. But when COVID came along, we had to focus on COVID. We did a great job.
You're going to get some type of green because of that big candle right there, you feel me? So some type of green will come up. Even though everything pointing down. So we're going against the trend right now. We're going to get a green. I want that, but a green won't pop up. And even if a green don't pop up, it's going to give you some type of motion.
Includes a number of appointments, a number of your ambassadors that have been previously announced, and also crucially, given the administration's concerted effort to focus on violent crime, it includes a number of U.S. attorneys in major cities.
Because everything look like it point.
Some very good people, too.
It might start going back up.
Thank you, sir. And then we have a number of ceremonial proclamations.
Everything pointing down, though.
So two very special proclamations, the first of which is
Yeah, both
a
the blue
proclamation that
line
proclaims March 2025 as
So,
Women's History Month in
It said
honor of all
green,
the
that's
wonderful
still
women
a
in your
up.
administration, all the wonderful women in America.
They say green,
and
that's a up.
in
We are above
honor
the
of
50,
everything
that's
you've
a
done
up.
for women and this administration has done for women in just, what, a month and a half?
The only thing showing is above the green, up.
Done a lot
The
for
only
us.
thing showing down is this,
This is an honor.
that,
We have a
this,
wonderful woman here.
and the parabolic.
Nice to have you, Maria.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thanks for all that you're doing for women.
Thank you. We'll do an interview of me later. Maybe I shouldn't do this interview. I should be like Biden, not do any interviews. That's great. Women, we love you.
So the second one is a proclamation proclaiming March 2025 as Irish American Heritage Month in honor of, to commemorate our amazing friendship between America and Ireland, and to just honor all of the Irish Americans. And I'm a little bit biased because I'm American and Irish, but
Well, they're great people. They're great people. And they voted for.
So now it look like it correcting itself back up to green.
You're not supposed to, but you have to like them. So for the Irish American people, proclamation.
I'm gonna cross it out a little bit, cross it out a little bit.
Told us a little while ago that if Hamas does not release hostages, that the U.S. and Israel could take some action. What does that mean in your eyes? Is that military action? Would you join strikes with
Well,
Israel?
you're gonna find out.
Mhm.
I had the honor of spending a lot of time yesterday with quite a few of the people that we got out, and I can't believe how badly treated they were, really badly treated. Stories that you wouldn't even believe. Some of it was documented, some of it was so bad you couldn't do it. I don't know if you could put it on. And it's a shame. And they said one thing, that they have 59 hostages, of which many of them are killed. They want to know if we could just continue. They said without us, look, Biden wasn't able to get anybody out. We came along and we started releasing. But we have 59 left, of which 24 are living. The rest are dead. And I put out a statement. It's sort of self-explanatory, I think. But somebody's going to have to get a lot rougher than they're getting. It's a shame. And those 24 that are living, because they were with them just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, depending on when they got out. But they said they're in very bad shape.
You spoke today with your cabinet members and Elon Musk.
I did.
What did you tell them in regards to Elon Musk and his authorities to carry out actions?
We had a great meeting. We had Elon and we had some of the representatives, the business reps. We also had most of the cabinet members, not all of them. It doesn't really pertain to all of them, but many of them. And I thought it was a really good meeting. It was about cutting because everybody knows the country's way out of control in terms of the number of people. We have many people that don't work. We have many people probably that aren't even living that are getting checks. And we're finding all of that out, and it's being reported. We're going to save
Cross this green
hundreds
candle.
of billions of dollars. We've already saved a lot. And parts
Boy,
of it are contracts that are
I
expiring.
already look
that
like
we're
I
paying on.
make it
Many
green though.
crazy things that
This says
you see it
green
happening.
though,
It shouldn't
but
happen, but you can see it happening. You see a lot of it.
everything else is
But
pointing
the other
though.
thing, I think
See, it
most
said
important
pointing
is that
towards a
I
50.
want the cabinet members to keep good people.
They say
I don't want to
reds.
see a big cut where a lot of
They
good
say
people
going to
cut.
hit the
I want the
parabolic.
cabinet members to keep the good people, and the people that aren't doing a
You
good
dig?
job, that are unreliable, don't show up to work, etc., those people can be cut. So I had a meeting, and I said, I want the cabinet members, go first, keep all the people you want, everybody that you need. And it would be better if they were there for 2 years instead of 2 weeks, because in 2 years they'll know the people better. But I want them to do the best job they can. When we have good people, that's precious, that's very important, and we want them to keep the good people. And so So we're gonna be watching them, and Elon and the group are gonna be watching them, and if they can cut, it's better. And if they don't cut, then
They
Elon will
cross
do it.
all this ass, so I believe they might continue doing that.
Did Elon Musk have been moving too quickly?
No, I think they've done an amazing job.
They
They've
said
done an
flop out.
amazing job, and look at what they found. I read
This
it
is
the other night
already
in the
up, so
speech,
now
and
you're
they
trying to hit
found
the
these cities
green.
where billions of dollars has been poured
This is
down
coming
the
on to
drain
flock
that's not
out.
about people,
They say
that's
you're
about
gonna hit the 50,
contracts where
and they say you're gonna hit the cross.
billions of dollars was just thrown out the
And they already
window.
crossed.
They probably got kickbacks.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure there were
So
tremendous kickbacks.
that's
for
why
the
I
people
believe
that
it was gonna go up.
authorized those contracts. But no, Elon has been really teaching everybody about the numbers that you can do. But what I want is I want the numbers, but I also want to keep the good people. We want to get rid of the people that aren't working, that aren't showing up, and have a lot of problems. And so they're working together with Elon, and I think we're doing a really great job. We're cutting it down. We have to for the sake of our country. You can't have that kind of fat. It's bloated, and like nobody's ever seen before. Where you need 20,000 and they have 120,000 people, and you just don't need that many. And it happens with companies, and it happens with governments, I guess. You could go to a lot of governments, you'd see the same thing. But we're trying to get it down. We want to be able, next year, we could balance the budget. I think there's a good chance we could balance the budget next year. We have a lot of good things happening. Plus, we have a lot of revenue things happening, like today with the shipbuilding. And this gentleman behind me is going to create a lot of jobs. And it's about the biggest there is in the world. We had the biggest chip maker in the world here a few days ago. He's going to be spending $200 billion on building plants. We're not giving him any money to build it. You know, it's that Chip Act is ridiculous. Where the Biden thing, where they give billions of dollars to
bro.
people that have nothing but money. They're not going to spend that money. They're just taking that money. We're giving nothing. They're coming in because of the tariffs, because they don't want to pay the tariffs, and they're opening up things. So. But with respect to people, I said, I want to cut the people, but I want to keep the good people.
Man, this some dumb shit for real, bro.
No, those are modified. Those are happening next week, and the big one will be on April 2nd when reciprocal tariffs. So if India or China or any of the countries that really, India is a very high tariff nation. I'll tell you what's a high tariff nation is Canada. Canada charges us 250% for our milk product and other products, and a tremendous tariff on lumber and things as such. And yet we don't need their lumber. We have more lumber than they do. We don't need Canada's lumber. So what I'm doing is I'll be signing an executive order freeing up our forests so that we're allowed to take down trees and make a lot of money and then reharvest trees. Also, we're cutting fire divides. A fire divide is a 50 yards or 70 yard swath where the trees can't, it's long enough so trees don't burn forever until you can get them out. And those trees can be sold and made a lot of money with. So, but we'll be doing that. We don't need trees from Canada. We don't need cars from Canada. We don't need energy from Canada. We don't need anything from Canada. So where we can be self-sustaining, which is in most things. Look, we have more oil and gas than anybody. Our forests are massive forests. We're just not allowed to use them because of the environmental lunatics that stop us. So I'm going to be freeing that up very shortly so that we don't have to go to other countries to buy lumber. Why should we be buying lumber from other countries, paying tariffs, paying big prices, extraordinary prices? And we have lumber. We have the best lumber. Go ahead. It's just a modification, short term, because I didn't want to hurt the American. It would have hurt the American car companies if I did that. We're not looking at that. No, we're not looking at that. No. What about it? What are you saying? Yeah. On GPS?
temporary
Oh, I I thought you said GPS.
I want to get this red condo right there. So you're going to give me a chance for this red condo.
And I'm looking at that, and there were some people that think that's appropriate, and some people
Right
think
there.
I'll be making a decision pretty soon. But we're not looking at it, especially Ukrainians. They've gone through a lot. Yeah,
This red condo right there. I want to get that. We ain't had a red condo yet, so it's going to come up soon.
this should be the easiest one of all, but
I believe this will be it around this area.
if something's a 50-50 issue, it's hard to get excited about it. I assume people would like to have more light later, but some people want to have more light earlier because they don't want to take their kids to school in the dark. And it's a little bit one way, but it's very much a 50-50 issue.
But everything pointing up though, so don't
But a
think
lot of people like it one
I
way,
don't
a lot of
know.
people like
Everything
it the other
going
way.
up.
It's very even.
Once it crosses high, once it crosses high, it's going up.
What else do we have to do?
But I just wanted to catch this red condo. This red condo is making it possible for this right there, and it's in the right spot.
Yeah, oh, well, and the second one with all of the
This is the right spot for it to do some red.
I want to find the answers. I told them.
But it's an
Back
uptrend.
today, I said,
Everything
I wanna find-
pointing
you
up.
no longer blame Biden for that one.
I knew this was gonna happen, but like I said, I wanted to catch this
So,
downtrend
they are
because I know a
giving me a
down was
report
gonna come.
next week sometime.
A red condo gonna come
I
soon though.
believe I'll be releasing, I want to release the report. A lot of people have asked that question. You had one who had 3 apps, 2 of which were foreign, supposedly, and who has the biggest white shoe law firm in Pennsylvania, even though they don't live in necessarily a white shoe area. What's that all about? Law, the law firm. The other one had 7 or 6 cell phones, and I don't have 6 cell phones. And why would somebody have 6 cell phones? So we're going to be releasing a report on that soon, Peter.
But based on what you're saying right there, the lack of information and the data points that there's some data.
It could be. Well, it makes other people think that. It makes me think
This might be the red condo right there.
We have 3 apps, and 2 of them are foreign.
I already told you a red condo was coming.
You had an FBI that wouldn't report on it. They didn't want to say why. I would say that
Because of this cross right there, it said cross this green condo, cross it, but it bounced off because this right there
and by the
made
way,
it a support.
Secret Service did a great job
So it bounced off of this support right there,
by
but
spotting them.
it already
But
engulfed
the
this
second
condo,
one
so
had 6 cell phones.
you gotta have
That's
a
lot
red
of cell
condo.
phones. And a couple of them had some. So, yeah,
No,
we're
the
gonna
market
find
it deciding if you want to bounce off of this
maybe there's a
resistance.
reason that we shouldn't, so
Bounce
I don't
up,
want to get too far ahead of
come down, or and bounce up, or come down and continue going down, probably to this
I want to see
high.
it myself here. Not only you, I want to see that one myself.
President Macron yesterday said that France was ready to offer its
This
nuclear
high right
protection
there,
to other
like I
European
say.
countries. What do you make
And
of
then
it?
after
And
this
in
high,
case, would
down
the
to
US
this low.
also maintain a nuclear umbrella for European countries?
Well, France is also willing to put soldiers into Ukraine for safety reasons if we can get it. I will say that we've made a lot of progress with Ukraine and a lot of progress with Russia over the last couple of days. And it'd be great to bring that to an end so we don't have to talk that way about nuclear. It'd be great if everybody would get rid of their nuclear weapons. We have
Perfect
Russia
play, everything moving down.
Us have by far the most. China will have an equal amount
Red.
in 4 or 5 years.
Red,
And
Red.
it would be great if we could all
red,
denuclearize. Because the power
Red.
of nuclear weapons is
Red.
crazy.
red.
It's crazy. And I was very far along the process with Russia, despite the Russia hoax, which didn't make it easy. It was a total hoax, total rigged hoax by some bad people. But despite that, I was very close to having a program with Russia, denuclearization, and we were going to get China. I spoke to President Xi about it, and he would have been very happy to have gone along with it. But bad things happened, like an election that was rigged happened, and so we had to come back 4 years later. But I would very much like to start those talks. The opposite of what you said, the denuclearization would be incredible.
President, on the auto tariff that you were talking about, I know yesterday you spoke with the big 3. Did you tell them that no more exemptions were
on the way, and what was the
I
reaction?
told them, that's it. This was a short-term deal. They came back to me yesterday, they said, could we have some help on the tariffs because of the speed? And I said, look, I'm gonna do it, but that's it. Don't come back to me after the April 2nd. I don't wanna hear from you after
Everything
April
is on
2nd.
the
We're
red,
gonna be
everything's
doing it.
done.
And I wanna help them.
But this could be a retracement back up.
I didn't complain, but I helped them short-term during this short-term transition. April 2nd is gonna be a very big day for America.
Mr. President. My understanding is that long-standing U.S. policy is that we do not negotiate with terrorists. So how do you come to the city to send somebody from your team to negotiate with Hamas?
We are having discussions with Hamas. We are helping Israel in those discussions because we're talking about Israeli hostages. And we're not doing anything in terms of Hamas. We're not giving cash. We're not giving $6 billion like you hear other administrations give. In fact, I got 59 hostages out, and we gave nothing. In 59, we gave nothing, not including what's going on with Hamas. I mean, I consider that something where we're helping Israel for the most part. We had a couple of hostages, as you know. We got a couple of hostages out, American hostages. But certainly, Peter, I do, you have to negotiate. There's a difference between negotiating and paying. We want to get these people out. If you would have seen the people yesterday, maybe you did, I don't know, but if you would have seen them, the way they spoke about their captivity, it was unbelievable. It's terrible.
Are you thinking about making any change to NATO where NATO...
But we on a downtrend though.
They're not taking us to be-
Everything is on a downward, but this could be the time to start
I
to
said, if you're not going to pay, we're not
trace
going to
back up,
I said that
come up to this bluey,
7 years ago.
and
And
probably
because
come
of
back
that, they
down.
paid hundreds of billions of dollars.
Or it could come back
They said,
down
if you're
now,
not going
because
to pay your bills, we're
but
not going to defend you. And it also went for the attack. But if they got attacked, they said, well, does that mean you won't
damn, I'm
defend us? I said,
800 on the dot.
Or are you delinquent? They said, if we were delinquent, would you? I said, nope, I would not. And because of that, as you know, hundreds of billions of dollars came into NATO. You wouldn't have NATO right now if I weren't there. And your previous Secretary General has said that. He said he's never seen anything like it. When I came to NATO, when I first had my first meeting, I noticed that people weren't paying their bills at all. And I said I should wait till my second meeting, and I did. And I brought that up. And they said, if you don't pay your bills, we're not going to participate, we're not going to protect you. And when I said that, as soon as I said that, it was amazing how the money came in. The money came in, and now they have money. But even now, it's not enough. It's really not enough. They should be paying more.
Mr. President, question on your investment, sir. You've overseen about $2 trillion worth of domestic private sector investments come in just about 2 months. This is the newest one. It comes after your announcement of the shipbuilding office
Wow.
during the joint session for Congress. Can you talk about why this is important in our national security, the new renaissance of domestic manufacturing?
Well, we have to maintain a strong country. We have to maintain, and we want to pay off debt. We have a lot of debt, but that'll start coming off quickly when this
I don't know what's going on, you know.
Look, we've been supporting
I just
the
gotta
whole
catch it.
world. You mentioned NATO and you mentioned other things.
That's all it is.
We've been supporting the whole world. When I first came in,
Just
we were paying
cross,
almost 100% of
victory.
NATO. NATO
Boom,
was
boom, boom,
crazy.
everything looking
We were
good. Once it's
supporting
across
NATO.
the
We were
50
paying
is our goal.
the bills for other
But me, I
countries.
like to just
And
jump
yet
the
those
gun
same countries, most of the
because
European,
I know about Martin Galen, you dig?
ripping us off in trade. They won't take our cars. They wouldn't take our agricultural product. They wouldn't take anything. Yet we were taking their cars by the millions. Mercedes and BMW and you look. Volkswagen,
Martin Galen is just my
we were
insurance.
taking their cars. They weren't taking it. We were
That's
taking
my
their
free
cars.
margin. That's what Martin Galen
No
is.
rip-off. And yet we were protecting them by giving them the money. And, that adds up to a bad number at the end of a lot of years. And that's what happened. And now it's time for this
One
country
more.
to stop being ripped off. I had that done very much in
Look like it's going
the
down.
administration. But then we had
I already see from over here.
at the very end with COVID. And, but we had the greatest economy in history. We had the greatest economy in history. I
Cross
think we're
this
gonna
little
redo
right
it
there, so
here, but even
we
better.
good to go.
And I wanted to
Easy.
do what we're doing now in the first term.
Everything pointing
but we had
low,
so many other
positive
things to do.
50.
We had to fix the border,
Riddle.
which we did. We had to fix
Sweet.
our military. We rebuilt our military. We completely
Now we
rebuilt the
done,
military,
man.
only to watch Biden give so much of it away to
Let's go check out some.
It's not even believable. It's not even believable what he did. The damage that that man did or that administration did to this country is frankly not even believable. And in particular, allowing millions and millions of people to come into our country. Many of them were murderers and drug dealers and gang members and people from prison for really heinous crimes. For him to allow those people into our country, spending tremendous amounts of time and effort, Nikki and Tom Homan is doing an unbelievable job, but we shouldn't have to be spending anything on that. We have the safest border ever. Now we have actually, as you saw, the numbers just came out, where we have actually the lowest numbers in the history of our country. But we shouldn't have had to do that. What we're doing now is we're looking for murderers. Can you believe it? We're looking for murderers. There's thousands of murderers. Some, about 50% killed more than one person. One killed 5 or 7. And we're looking for those people right now. We shouldn't have to be looking for those people.
Peter's question, are you going to make that policy, U.S. policy, that the U.S. would defend NATO countries that don't pay?
Well, I think it's common sense, right? If they don't pay, I'm not going to defend them. No, I'm not going to defend them. I got into a lot of heat when I said that. You said, oh, he's violating NATO. And you know, the biggest problem I have with NATO, I really, I know the guys very well. They're friends of mine. But if the United States was in trouble, and we called them, we said, we got a problem. France, we got a problem. A couple of others I won't mention. You think they're going to come and protect
See
us?
Donald Trump
They're supposed
speaking
to. I'm not so sure. With Japan.
to do the non-farm payroll. Hold on.
And I love
Okay.
Japan. We have a
To
great
do the non-farm
But
payroll.
we have an interesting
Red.
deal with Japan that we have to protect them,
Oh,
but they don't have to
red,
protect
red.
us. You know that? That's the way the deal is. We have to protect Japan. And by the way, they make a fortune with us economically.
Shit be lagging.
But
That shit
we have to
crazy.
protect Japan.
Up
But
off
under
of
no
that.
circumstances do they have to protect us. I actually asked, who makes these deals? Yeah, Peter?
Well, who built Latin Canyon so long?
I do know as potentially good, but that'll get...
Oh, that motherfucking
It's very unfair what's been happening. Until I came
investment
along, we
site
were
just
paying
be having my
close to
computer
100%
fucked
of
up.
NATO. So think of it, we're paying 100% of their military, and they're screwing us on trade.
And when inevitably contracting like what do we have from them? And this is the internet.
Well, I think what's going to happen is Ukraine wants to make a deal because I don't think they have a choice. I also think that Russia wants to make a deal because in a certain different way that only I know. Only I know. They have no choices.
Are you still thinking about Saudi Arabia?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm going to Saudi Arabia. They've been very, I made a deal with Saudi Arabia where because normally you'd go to UK first. And last time I went to Saudi Arabia, they put up $450 billion. You know that, right? You were there. We had American companies that took in $450 billion. I said, well, this time they've gotten richer. We've all gotten older.
You see the news was red, so they made the euro
to American companies,
go up.
meaning the purchase over a 4-year period of $1 trillion. And they've agreed to do that. So I'm going to be going there, and I have a great relationship with them. And they've been very nice, but they're going to be spending a lot of money to American companies for buying military equipment and a lot of other things. Probably over the next month and a half.
8:30.
That you were looking to speak with President Xi of China. That hasn't happened. How come? What are you waiting for?
Since that last one? I don't want great relationship with President Xi.
But you've spoken
It was hurt because of COVID. That's why I don't call it the China virus anymore. So please don't call it the China virus.
but to be clear, you've spoken to him since January 17th?
I don't want to say that, but I have spoken. And I speak to him a lot.
Regarding this executive order you signed, revoking security clearances.
Yeah, 30 the jump went up. Let me see.
Do you think there should be more steps like this to be taken against other people
Yeah,
involved in
56.
the Russia collusion?
I do, but that's going to be up ultimately to the Attorney General and various others.
I guess this was a good play.
The other night, we saw Democrats
1 minute.
during their joint address to Congress. Do you think it shows
63-01.
how out of touch they are with the American people, especially given that 79%, according to a CBS poll, approves of your?
I love this guy. Who are you?
Coming back on top.
I really like your questions.
Sir, regarding the executive
The
order,
answer is, just, Nick, just to, and I know your name very well. Good job. Yeah, the answer is, I thought it was very embarrassing for the Democrats what happened the other night. And it's not said for any other reason other than it's obvious. In fact, even CNN fake